Namaste and welcome to VD Decode YouTube channel.
Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're totally transforming the way you interact with AI. We're going to equip you with this incredibly simple, memorable framework for your everyday AI tasks. And then, a bit later, we'll shift gears into some advanced techniques for crafting actual production-ready prompts. So, let's dive right in.
Okay, have you ever asked an AI a question only to get this generic, super boring, textbook-sounding answer back? Like it totally lacks personality and needs a ton of editing just to be usable? Well, trust me, you aren't alone. But here's the real secret. The problem usually isn't the AI at all.
It's because AI cannot read your mind. It literally only reads your instructions. So vague prompts, they inevitably produce vague results. If you just type a really broad request, the AI kind of guesses your intent and basically defaults to the safest, most generic middle ground it can find. To get exactly what you want, you absolutely have to explicitly guide it.
To fix this, we're going to use something called the ARC method. It is this brilliantly simple, beginner-friendly framework designed to remove all the guesswork from your prompts. It stands for action, role, and constraint. And honestly, when you combine these three, your output quality is going to skyrocket instantly. First up is A for action. This is where you define exactly what you want the AI to actually do. Don't just give it something lazy like write about money. You need to specify the format, the length, the specific topic. Try something like write a 200-word LinkedIn post about saving your first 1 lakh rupees. A specific action means a much sharper output. Next, we've got R for role. Here, you're basically assigning the AI a specific identity to play. Think of it like casting an actor. Tell it to be a finance coach or a senior IT architect. This one tiny tweak instantly upgrades the AI's tone, its vocabulary, and its depth of knowledge. It suddenly stops sounding like a robot and actually starts sounding like a seasoned expert. Finally, we have C for constraint. And listen, this is the secret ingredient that almost everybody skips. Constraints are your guardrails. We're talking about rules like do not use technical jargon or keep it under 5 bullet points. They keep the AI hyper-focused and prevent it from, just rambling on and on. Let's look at how this plays out in the real world. A vague prompt, like the one on the left saying, tell me about investing, is just going to give you a boring textbook answer. But apply the ARC method. Action. Explain SIP investing in simple steps. Role. Friendly financial advisor. Constraint. Keep it under 150 words with no jargon. It's the exact same topic, but a completely different command, and it yields a vastly better result. By providing these 3 elements together, you're eliminating 3 whole layers of confusion all at once. The AI knows exactly what to do, who to be, and what to avoid. You end up getting expert advice that is actually ready to publish right out of the gate. It's a total game changer. Okay, now for the developers, the engineers, and the power users out there. Let's scale this whole thing up. Mastering the ARC method is your foundation, for sure. But how do you actually operationalize your prompt design when you're building a real application? Because in production, prompt engineering is rarely a one-shot process. It requires rigorous, iterative refinement. Honestly, if you take away just one technical habit from this explainer, let it be strict document management. Because prompt engineering is so incredibly iterative, you really need to use a structured spreadsheet to log your attempts. Track the model version, the temperature settings, the exact text of the prompt, and the resulting output quality. Trust me, when you're debugging later, this log is going to be your absolute lifeline. Just look at how this plays out visually. You've got to think of prompt design as this multifaceted shape, rather than just a straight, flat line. Every little adjustment, a tweaked constraint, an altered system role, or a tiny back-end setting, it completely changes the angle and the final polish of your output. Now, for really complex tasks where tone and format are absolutely critical, sometimes simple instructions just aren't enough. That's where few-shot prompting comes in. This is where you literally feed the AI 1 to 5 exact examples of your desired output right there in the prompt. It lets you leverage the AI's incredible pattern matching abilities to drastically boost its accuracy. Let's jump into another essential pro tip: fine-tuning the model's actual configuration settings. When you're using an API or a developer studio, you actually have control over how it predicts the next word. And the most common levers you'll be pulling here are temperature, top K, and top P. Temperature is super interesting because it basically controls the randomness of the AI's word choices. As you can see, a low temperature, closer to 0, essentially turns the AI into a strict mathematician,
which is perfect for coding or factual reports. But dial that temperature up to zero point 0.8 or 1.0, and the AI becomes this wild, creative brainstormer, ideal for things like storytelling or ideation. Alongside temperature, you can also adjust top K and top P. Now, these are nucleus sampling settings that restrict the actual vocabulary the AI is even allowed to consider. Tweaking these forces the model to choose from only the most likely next words. It lets you find that absolute perfect sweet spot between strict predictability and wide-open creativity.
So what's next? Well, the absolute best way to learn this is by doing it. Start small today. For the very next task you give an AI, whether that's writing a quick email or summarizing a giant document, just write down your action, assign it a role, and set a strict constraint. Watch how quickly your output transforms. It's seriously like magic.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final thought. AI is arguably the most powerful tool of our generation. But remember, a tool is only ever as effective as the person steering it. If AI is the ultimate tool, are you taking the time to write the right instructions? Master your prompts, and you master the AI. Thanks for joining, and keep experimenting.